Hey friend, welcome to my podcast, The Fit Soul. I'm your host, Amy Ramsey. In this podcast, we will be discussing soul-filled strategies to unleash your confidence, increase your energy, and all the things healthy lifestyle. If you're a Christian woman who is ready to reach your God-given potential, walk worthy of your calling with abundant joy and energy, girlfriend, you are in the right spot. I mean, you only have one life to live. You might as well maximize it. Buckle in, and thanks for listening. Hey, welcome back to the podcast or the YouTube, wherever you're watching this from. I'm really excited to introduce a new series that I want to bring some really valuable information to you over the next 4 weeks on how to walk worthy and master midlife. So I'm going to break this into 4 weeks, try to keep it short and tight and concise so you can really understand how to harness transformative thoughts into transformative actions to get you the results that you want in life, so you really can unlock your full potential and walk worthy with confidence without sitting on the sidelines of your own life, or for us who are of faith, neglecting the call of God on our life, and to steward that well. So my name is Amy Ramsey. I'm so honored that you are here, that you join me week after week. Thank you so much. And I'm really excited to bring this information to you for a host of reasons, because in my coaching practice and the women that I work with and that I hear from in my DMs, there's so many things that are sabotaging us and in this midlife stage. And I just want a little disclaimer right now. I hate that word midlife. It's not a word that I like. It's not a word that I didn't even know I was in midlife until I was in my mid to late 40s. Like, I had no idea. I thought that was for, like, if you're 60 or something and older, and I don't even think 60 is old. I'm just saying I thought that was midlife, and now I understand that it's not. So midlife is just a term that's used to describe us, but there's a lot of unique struggles that we face during this age and this season of our life. And I do believe, because I was stuck in it, I'm going to share a few stories today, but I was stuck, and I see so many women that are really, really stuck. And this is to give you tools to get you out, to change your thoughts, to change your actions, to actually change your results, to create those healthy habits in your life so you can move forward, so you can get unstuck and be everything that you're supposed to be. So if you are a if you're an ambitious woman, this is going to be so your jam. If you're over apparently 40 years old, which apparently that's midlife, if you love your family, if you love the Lord, if you are also passionate about personal development and spiritual development, you're going to find so much value in this. Especially if your mindset is like mine. I want to leave a legacy for the future generations and leave the right mark on this world that I'm called to leave. That's what I want to do. So I want to help you to find that balance between career, between faith, between family, and to help you kind of pull that together so you can be right where you want to be. So I do believe that you will be inspired and empowered and educated, but also this is going to equip you to take the right actions to free yourself from those limited and broken beliefs that hold you back. And they keep us from walking worthier towards that healthier, towards that vibrant, towards that joyful, towards that more fulfilled version of who we are supposed to be. And I'm about mad about that. I don't know about you, but I'm about mad about that. Like, no, when I look back at my life and I think through the seasons where I was so stuck, I literally thought that I had made too many mistakes. I had allowed my past to define me, and I wasn't walking in the forgiveness and grace that God is like, you're my daughter, walk worthy of that. I didn't know that was for me. I thought because I had been divorced and that my life hadn't turned out like I wanted it to turn out, like I tried to have it to turn out, then I thought that basically I was just, I rendered myself useless. And it says a lot about, that says a lot about where I was in that time, but it's very common for women to, especially in abuse. I was a survivor of domestic abuse, but to take that on as shame. And that's what I did. And then it's like the enemy just used that against me. But I found freedom in that. And what I do know is healed people heal people, free people free people. And it's my desire to see you legitimately thrive in this midlife season, especially if you have struggled with insecurities, fear, self-sabotage, and you're stuck in cycles of overspending, overeating, procrastination, and shame, or all of the above. I promise you, there is a better way. And so that's what we're going to dive into today. So here's the thing. When we start to switch up our thinking, when we start to change our thinking and like renew our thinking on who we really and truly are, and we get in alignment with what our purpose on this earth is, it starts to help us form how we're going to move forward in our actions. And we can start to break those sabotaging patterns and behaviors that hold us back. So the problem number one that I see in this midlife is, I'm calling this the destiny dilemma. So this is a problem with clarity. There's this intense feeling for a more profound connection to God, a connection to purpose, but not sure how to pursue it. This destiny dilemma for us is often kind of rooted in an identity crisis. What we had known for roles in our lives, whether it's career or motherhood or maybe even a disruption in your life. I used to be a wife and now I'm single. Whatever that may look like for you, there's significant life changes that kind of culminate right now in this midlife, and even becoming an empty nester or retiring. It's like, especially in the empty nest phase, no one really sits and prepares us for how lonely that can feel and how monumental it actually is. Like, you can't hardly experience it until you start to go through it. But what I do know is that a lot of empty nesters are really lonely, and there's like kind of being hard on themselves. But to know that you're not alone is power, right? And that even though this is a new season and it feels kind of sad, almost like there's almost this grieving process of entering into a new season, that God still has a purpose and a plan right now. Here's another thing that is a problem in this whole destiny dilemma is the comparison crisis. Like, looking at, especially with the world of social media, we won't even go there, but with looking at what women seem to be more accomplished maybe than you are. I know that I struggle with this. Like, I'd like to say that, no, I don't struggle with this, but no, I really do. I feel like sometimes, and I had to get over this, but I know a lot of women feel this way, is that I feel like I'm too late. I feel like it's too late. Like, I'm kind of feeling like a late bloomer, and I'm stepping into this season of whatever it is. And oh my gosh, all of the skills that I need to learn are overwhelming. And I'm starting from square one. And then when I look at successful people that have already, achieved the success that I would like to achieve, they're way up here. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that's just unattainable. And then struggling with comparison. How about you? Do you ever look at what you would like to do, and it's almost concerning, it's almost daunting, it's almost fearful to even get started, because you're looking at maybe someone who has achieved massive success, and you're like, I can never get there. So this is a real common problem with this destiny dilemma in midlife that we face. Another thing is past baggage, carrying the regrets of the shouldas, the couldas, the would'ves, perceived failures, allowing our failures to define us, creates this barrier to fully embrace God's current plan for our lives. And then this one, I know you're going to be able to relate with this, is just straight up distractions. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, we are so stinking distracted just by technology. I mean, the little phone in your hand. I don't know about y'all, but I find myself going from one app to the next, 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 over and over and over again, and refreshing, looking for new notifications. It's like, whoa, bored out of my mind, not feeling fulfilled, feeling, in fact, a little bit of frustration. But what happens? We keep doing it again and again and again and again. I'm not going to go into all of that, but it's a real problem, and it's keeping us from really thinking about what do we want for the future. So what I really want to do right now is just remind you, you are created for purpose, on purpose. And that I love Ephesians 2:10, that purposeful pathway, where it says that we are God's workmanship and that we are created in Christ, that he actually has works for us before time. I can't remember exactly how it goes, but there are things for you to do on this earth right now. And when we start to look at it from like that perspective of, oh, you mean God actually wants me to move forward and he actually has something for me? Yeah, he does. If you are a Christian, if you are a child of God, yes, God has something for you right now in this phase. Y'all know I love y'all. I know y'all love Gabby. I love Gabby, my 13-year-old bestie buddy. And just to watch her courageously battle brain cancer, and to watch her say the things that she says. God has a plan and his plan is good. She goes back to Jeremiah 29:11. God has a plan for me and his plan is good. He has a plan for your life. And this is such a guiding truth for her. And this is a truth for us at whatever age we are and whatever life stage we're in. I love to think about the Proverbs 31 woman who smiles at the future and smiles as things are coming, as maybe certain chapters in our life are closing and new ones are starting, and they feel scary, they feel lonely, they feel different. And kind of in the world's eyes, almost, this midlife stage can be looked at a little bit as irrelevant, or you don't see as many of us, rocking it out in our 40s and 50s on social media and in the media itself. And so here's just what I want to remind you in this right now is that you are created fearfully, and you're fearfully and wonderfully made, that you are created in God's image, and that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And not only are you absolutely have an intricate design and patterns all over you and who you are, but you have so many unique aspects about you, your personality, your talents, your abilities, and these are gifts from God. And for us to understand this, and it's just awe-inspiring when we stop, but what happens is we forget. We literally forget how incredible we are. And having this Christ-centered, healthy self-esteem is crucial. This is where I was struggling. Remember, I said earlier, I just felt like God didn't need me anymore, that there was nothing left for me. But that was a lie. I just bought into this lie. I didn't see myself anymore as created in his image and fearfully and wonderfully made. And so really, when we start to align our identity to who he says we are, game changer, hello, game changer. And when we start to understand that I'm created for destiny, like to leave legacy, to take the unique attributes and to utilize that, to shift the sphere of whatever influence I may have. We all have influence. We're all influencers. I kind of don't like that word just because of the connotation of social media, and it's like a status thing, and you've got to have XYZ amount followers, and now you're an influencer. No, we're all influencers. We can influence for good. We can influence not at all. But the goal is to walk worthy, to steward that call well on our lives, to walk worthy in love, to walk worthy and serve others, to walk worthy and bless others. And so having this idea of legacy in mind, instead of the distractions, the lack of esteem, self-esteem that women face, they feel stuck. And what happens then is that we don't think about our future and the legacy that we are leaving. So here's the thing. Here's the thing that I want to encourage you. Walk Worthy is all about embracing and becoming the woman that God has called you to be. That Ephesians 4:1-2, where Paul says, I urge you to walk worthy of that calling, to understand, to grow in love, to grow in spiritual maturity, to grow and see yourself as needed and necessary, that you can leave such an impact with your community, mostly with your family, and then your community. How can you shift? How can you shift those around you to help them walk worthy? How can you steward this call of your life? Because you have so many unique things about you, along with your unique personality. I love to talk about our handprints. You know, you've got unique handprints. You've got a new unique nose print, ear print, lip print, tongue print, teeth, unique gait, unique voice. Nobody else has. No, you are such a one of a kind. Such a one of a kind. And, but here's the thing. When we start to think about our unique ability and our legacy, we all have this, but it's kind of like an acorn that falls from an oak tree. Not all acorns are going to bloom into this strong, magnificent oak tree, but it has the potential. It has the potential to do it, right? I think I read that in a book. I think it was John Acuff's book. Everyone has that potential, but are we walking worthy of that? And whenever you choose to walk worthy in your life and to pursue the call of God on your life, I promise you, you got to leave your comfort zone. And so for a lot of us right now in this midlife season is calling us out of our comfort zone. And anytime we're called out of our comfort zone, it's scary. The comfort zone is more comfortable, but it's unfulfilling and it's keeping you stuck. So your stuck self stays in your comfort zone, and it's going to take you courage to push out of that. So I want to encourage you that in all of the unique handprints, every way that God has uniquely, fearfully, wonderfully made you, He also gave you a unique footprint. And how are you going to use that unique footprint here on this earth to leave a legacy? Where might you just need to have a refresh, like just a place to ponder again? Oh, wait a minute. I am called for destiny. God sees me as needed and necessary, that He has a plan for my life right now in the season in my life. I'm called to love. I'm called for spiritual maturity. I'm called to help others as well. I'm called to work worthy of my calling. What is my calling? This is a lot of the stuff that we talk about in my Walk Worthy mentorship. Is we dive into this because you have very unique skills, but you also have just gifts deposited inside of you. And to utilize and to walk forward, utilizing the giftings that you have, which is, I believe, what we're called to do, can change somebody else's life when you push through that. You have so many experiences in your life, your successes and your failures, that will help someone else. It is at this stage of our life that we have overcome a lot and that we have the ability to mentor others. What do you need to mentor someone? Well, you know, I think sometimes we can look at people and for me, I have a mentorship. I'm a coach. I've gone through a gazillion certifications. I'm a high performance coach. I've studied all of these things to legitimately like move people forward at a higher capacity. But you know what? All you needed to be is one step ahead and encourage and love somebody, and you're going to make a difference in their lives. So what is the footprint in the legacy that you are going to leave behind with your unique ability, with your with your personality, with your skills, with all of the things? I want to give you just a few things that really helped me to kind of shift again towards a bigger picture than just my own, because we get bogged down in our problems, and then all of a sudden we're not thinking about the future as much. So where is your identity not lining up to who God says you are? That's a big question. This is, again, a lot of things. I have a free affirmation download for you. You can check the show notes here. But when we start to really when we start to do the work, this is a whole work. Now, next week, I'm going to come back and talk about broken negative mindsets and broken thought processes. So definitely join me back for next week. But part of the work that you can do is brain priming, is to actually start to build new neural pathways in your brain. Again, this is the work that I do in my Walkworthy mentorship. But there's a couple of things that I want to give you, just tools that you can use right now. I have an identity PDF where you can start this process right now. This process changed my thoughts, which changed my life. Change your thoughts, change your life. It's just real simple. It's got to start with those thought processes. So you can grab that. Another app that I actually love is I love to write my own affirmations out of who God says that I am, and then put them in the I Am app. It's a free app. You can download it and really focus on this woman that I'm becoming, embracing who God says that I am. This is a process. This is not something that, oh yeah, okay, great. Listen, I had heard identity for forever. But my head and my heart could not reconcile the both. Even though I knew it intellectually and I read it in the Bible, I still didn't think it was for me. I really didn't. And I know that I'm not alone in that. And that's probably one of the big reasons why you're staying stuck right now, is you don't really understand who you are. And I want you to know this. I want you walking worthy. Another app, and I'm not it's going to sound like I'm kind of a big app person here. I'm really not. But another app that I really love is the Pause app. That's by John Eldredge, and it is fantastic. It's a biblical meditation app, completely free. Highly recommend that. Another thing that I want to encourage you to do is find mentorship and a community of like-minded women that are doing the same thing. My mentorship would be a perfect place. It is the only mentorship community that is faith-driven, ambitious women who are walking worthy, where I combine the life coaching and the healthy habits with the performance coaching and blend that together to move you forward. And to have a community of women that are all focused on the same thing. You can absolutely come join me there. These women are having breakthroughs, and we're loving having the community together. And then the other thing I want to recommend to you is to love and serve others. If you're feeling like, oh my goodness, I don't even know where to start, which is actually kind of where I was when I was going through an awakening and realizing, oh, okay, wait a minute, I don't have to live like this, is that I just thought, okay, I am going to serve others. And that's when I started looking out into my community and to see what I could do. How could I connect with others? I started as simple And in this Jumpstart program, I tackle thoughts, actions, and habits to help you move forward. So you can go to thefitsoul.com and grab that. It is so inexpensive. It is so life-changing. So definitely go grab that if you're feeling stuck. And okay, listen. This is part 1 of 4. I'm super excited about mastering this midlife and helping you with the right tools. So we started today with our legacy and that destiny dilemma and forgetting who we are. But next week, join me back, because we're going to talk about negative mindsets and broken beliefs from a fresh perspective, from a perspective of faith, from a perspective of biblically based lens, looking forward onto our minds. It's not going to be any woo-woo. I really want you to have that firm foundation of Bible first, Bible backed, and the neuroscience piece, emerge that together so you can I'm telling you, this will move your life forward. So that's all I have for today. Can't wait to join you back next week. We're going to pick up this topic again, and do me a solid. Share this. If you would share this with a few people, like click it. You can hold your thumb down on, if you're on an iPhone, and it'll copy the link and send it to some friends that need to hear this. This is an important message, because when we are walking worthy, we're a light and we're changing this world. It is such a dark world. It is such a dark. And so your light, the brighter you shine your light and you're making an impact on others, it's going to make a difference for the kingdom. So please, if you would, if you don't mind, share this link with someone else. And I cannot wait to see you again next week. Thanks for tuning in today, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Girlfriend, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I'm so honored you come back every week and that you share the Fit Soul podcast with your friends and family. Every time you share my podcast on Instagram or Facebook, I do a little happy dance. Make sure you subscribe to the Fit Soul podcast, where you'll never miss an episode. You can go to Podcast, Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify and subscribe so you'll never miss an episode release. And just know, I truly love bringing you excellent content and great guests to provide you motivation and faith inspiration to help you walk worthy. And one of the ways you can help me is to go and leave the Fit Soul podcast a review. If you have just a moment, would you please go over and leave a review for the Fit Soul podcast? Thank you again. I love you. And here is your reminder. You are worthy. Until next time, bye-bye.